Hi everyone, welcome to Yoga with Tara. As always, it is so wonderful to see you all, and I hope you're having a good Thursday. I'm determined to be optimistic today and starting with a big smile. It's not how I woke up feeling. I woke up feeling, I don't know, unsettled and a little disoriented, which actually, to be very honest, has been happening for a while. I mean, I'm absolutely fine. We're all fine, touch wood. But I just find that every day I kind of wake up a little unnerved until I've seen the kids and had my coffee and stuff. I'm a little like, what's going on in the world? And although this is now almost a year, more than a year, almost a year and a half, it still like just feels so surreal sometimes that this whole COVID thing happened. And but on the optimistic side, vaccines are here. I hope those of you who are eligible are able to take it soon, and I hope everyone gets their vaccine soon so we can get back to the good parts of normal. The kids are having a few parties online because their holidays begin in a couple of days, actually tomorrow. So that's all the shouting at the back. So I can't be too loud also because I'll disturb them. So guys, also we are doing I'm doing a chat on Saturday noon live this coming Saturday with the wonderful Dr. Zirak Marker, who's a renowned psychiatrist for children, adolescents, families, adults. So please send in any questions you may have. We're going to be talking about navigating and understanding our mental health at this time. Frankly, I always knew about mental health. I did episodes on my show related to mental health, but it always felt something that was a bit distant. I think this whole lockdown experience has made me realize that we all really need to be aware of our own mental health. It's such a big part of who we are, and these have been testing times, different ways for different people. But I think it's really important to acknowledge and not have shame if one needs to speak or have help. Hi, Pakiraju. I hope you have an incredible day today. Touchwood, thank you so much, and same to you. And it's always such a pleasure seeing you all. Hopefully, I'll be awake for the Saturday live. We'll surely send questions. Super passionate about mental health awareness. That's so cool, Pakiraju. And yes, what's the time there? And how's everything going? What's the situation like in the US? I think it's opening up a lot, and I think to me that gives me a lot of hope that things will get better here as well. So on that note, I've got a lot of really lovely messages over the last few. Hi, Usman, over the last few days and weeks, where I feel people are getting a little bit more hopeful. Things are getting a bit better. And that's really nice to see. Anita says, Jai Shri Krishna. Then we've got lots of people. Oh, God, what was that? Oh, my God, I don't know. I've never seen that you can do that. You can zoom in on a live. I didn't even know. Official Abhishek says hi. Then Sneha says hello. Such lovely comments. Thank you all so much for joining. Delicia, hi Delicia, how are you? Says I have my Ed exam at 11 a.m. Just thought of saying hi before I go. A huge good luck. I'm sure you'll ace it. Do really, really well. That's amazing. It's so good to have things to look forward to. And in these times, I find the smallest thing give you so much joy. Yesterday, Kai had a little drum performance online, and it was so exciting for us. And, Zen had his graduation from junior school to middle school. Again, it was so exciting. So the teachers are managing to make things even exciting in this online space. And I just keep saying, as much as I must admit, as a family, we have a lot of heated fights being in such close proximity. I really do learn a lot from the children. They seem to have really adapted very well. I would say in many ways better than us. Paki Raju says it's 1 a.m. Haha, but things are getting better. We still wear masks. Some schools are still virtual, but things are getting normal. Finally, indoor restaurants and theaters are opening. That's super, Paki Raju. That's in the US. And thank you, Paki Raju, for saying congratulations to Zen. Zen is at an age where he's very cool and will not acknowledge that it's a big deal. So he's like, oh, mama, why are you making a big deal? I'm just going from one class to another. But yeah, it's cool. It's from junior school to middle school. But see, that's what I mean. Kids are so like calm and cool. So we as parents need to learn that. I think of myself as a really young, cool parent, but clearly in their eyes, I'm not. Very happy to see you happy and hopeful today. Yes, but Lisa, and I did see your message yesterday also when I said, how are you? And you said, feeling more hopeful. So that's really great. Hope is a wonderful thing. And when you have a reason. Like, let's face it, the truth is we're better off this year than we were last year because we have a vaccine. It has been proven that with especially a double dose, people are protected from severe illness. Now we just have to hope we all get the vaccine. Vaccines, touch wood. Okay, guys, so should we start yoga or should we just chat? I think we should start yoga because this is Yoga with Tara. And as I said, on Saturday, we have Dr. Zirab Makar talking about mental health awareness. So do join for that. And then we have a whole list of actually very exciting guests coming up. And I'm very touched. I've been asked to moderate something for my UWC in Italy. That's also going to be coming up. So there's a bunch of things coming up. I'm doing a BBC Earth Live with Sonakshi Sinha on the 5th, which is Earth Day. I'll be sharing about that soon too. And one with Sunita Rao, who's written a beautiful song and performed it on climate change. Pakiraju says, are people still hesitant getting the vaccines there? Sadly, some are here. Pakiraju, I think vaccine hesitancy here is actually a very small thing compared to the shortage in supply. And not everyone will acknowledge that. But the truth is, there's been a major pause in what was a really good vaccination rollout. And it's mainly because there aren't enough vaccines or they're not. So I just hope supply is ramped up so more people get it. Earlier, there might have been hesitancy and consequently a lot of people didn't take and perhaps there was wastage. Now people are desperate to take and there isn't enough supply. So, I think in life, often situation makes people change their tune. And maybe there, because there's so much supply, perhaps people feel they have the ability to have hesitancy. Here, I think it's come to a point where we just have to have more supply and they've increased the time gap between vaccines. They've said now this is the ideal thing, and you can't help but be cynical and wonder, is it really scientifically backed or is it just to placate us because of the delay? But either way, we just have to stay optimistic. I hope there is enough supply and things get better. Thank you, Pakiraju. I hope so too. Touch wood. And yeah, you guys, you will know one day, and even every day I say this to you guys. You guys have been a huge part of keeping me sane in lockdown, and I hope I've been a little part of keeping you guys sane too. I think routine. Today I read a post that says everything you want is on the other side of consistency. And I was like, really? Because I think I've been pretty darn consistent with all these lives and all these shows that I do. And I still don't think it's kind of reached some great heights. But the biggest and most rewarding part of doing all these lives and chats is interacting directly with all of you. And, everybody is special. But I will take the liberty of saying I do think our communities are the best. You guys are the best. I don't like to use the word followers because we're all equal, but I would say the best community of interactors. I really feel a lot more optimistic after our sessions. Pakiraju says, yes, of course, you truly had a positive impact in our lives even before the pandemic. That's so kind of you, Pakiraju. And that's Pakiraju all the way from the US. It's the middle of the night there, but he's still watching, which is very kind and sweet. And, you guys trust me. I'm not just saying it. I think you know it. I'm not doing these chats because I'm being sponsored or I'm being paid or I have any other ulterior motive. It's just and purely to build our friendship. And I'm very, very touched that we've come this far. And we're all going to come out of this and be really grateful for all the friendships we've made as well. So guys, let's get started. We're going to start with Tadasana. Sorry, today I'm feeling very hot, so I'm just putting my head up. And we're going to start with Tadasana. And then we'll move on to the rest of the class. No. So everyone, come onto the top of front of your mat and stretch it up. Stretch, 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 and hold. Excellent. And down. And again, stretch, stretch, stretch. Bakiraju, I'm not expecting you are doing yoga at 1 a.m. Go over there. And down. And again. Up, up, up. And up. Super. Legs apart. Left hand on your left waist. Right hand up. And let's stretch on our left. Feel the stretch in your side obliques. Super. As a very dear friend of mine said yesterday, that immunity is perhaps more important than even the vaccine. I tend to kind of agree, vaccine is super important, but we have to do everything to keep our immunity good too. All of us being healthy, safe and happy forever, touch wood, is most important. So do work on consistent exercise, balanced food, good sleep, happy minds, animals. Animals help. And again, super. And again, excellent. Superb, guys. And now, right leg in front, warrior pose. Gently bounce. Excellent.
My first place I did in 16 seconds, so refresh your page.
Excellent.
So refresh your page.
What I find fascinating is watching how the kids are so tech savvy. The teachers themselves say that the kids teach them what to do in terms of the tech. Super. Stretch. Excellent.
Now people will try to do it again. So
excellent. Legs apart, Utkatasana, arms in front of your body. Bend down and up. Down and up. Fabulous. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down and up. Excellent. And hold.
What was you just give everybody a certain time, but every person and it may make it like a line.
Now we're going to do.
Until whoever finishes.
Sorry, he's doing his quiz. We're now going to do the 7 stretches. So we will start with the double angle pose. So clasp your hands behind your back like this. And legs apart, bend down, try and look up. Touch your nose tip or your chin with the floor. Hold your toes.
Yeah, me too. It's
Arms
nice.
between and stretch. On the right. Hanumanasana. And on the left.
I'm forced on me. I got it in 11 seconds. Got it in 12 seconds.
And
No, I'm forced.
stick. Superb. Stretch. Mount.
I did it in 11 seconds. Zombie did it 12.7.
And down again. And release. Fabulous. Superb, guys.
I took 14.5 seconds.
Excellent. Now we're going to do the 5 normal Surya Namaskar followed by the variations. So lovely to see all of you. Delicia says, yes, you've been a great source of happiness. Even after the pandemic is over, I remember these amazing chats with you and yoga. That's so kind of you, Delicia. And I'm sure we'll be doing these chats forever. I don't know if it will stop after the pandemic. I have a feeling this will become a thing. But yeah, we probably have to figure out timings so that it's not clashing with all the things people will be doing. But thank you, and vice versa. Hi,
So can you share
Pahadi. Hi, everybody. As you know, we're live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram. Hi, Mehul. Hi, everyone. Now we're going to do 3 normal Surya Namaskars and 5 variations. If you've got your water, please have it. I'm just going to get a rubber band for my hair.
Can you share the report? No, can you show me the report? Because he did it twice. Because Akshay did it twice and then he said,
Let's tie up our hair. If you have long hair like me, just going to put it into a plait.
no, you can. You can just stop again.
Okay, guys, so let's start with 3 normal Surya Namaskars followed by 5 variations. My teacher, Pradeep Pandey, is also, of course, on social media, and I do classes with him on 3 days a week on Zoom, and 2 days are these. Okay, let's get going. So there's the plait. Palms together in Namaste Mudra. Breathe in on 1, breathe out 2. Breathe in, breathe out, heels on the ground, feel the stretch in your calves. Hold your breath, bums up, chin and chest on the floor. Breathe in, breathe out. In, out. In, Namaste. The second part of the first Surya Namaskar. 1, 2, 3. Heels on the ground, feel the stretch in your calves. Hold your breath. Breathe in, out. In, out. In, Namaste. Second Surya Namaskar. 1, 2, 3. Up, heels on the ground, feel the stretch in your calves.
So easy.
Hold your breath. Breathe in, out. In, out. In, Namaste. Second part of the second Surya Namaskar. 1, 2. Hold the breath. Breathe in, out. In, out. In, Namaste. And the third Surya Namaskar. 1, 2, 3. Heels on the ground, feel the stretch in your calves. Hold your breath. Breathe in, heel, thighs off the floor, cobra. Out, heels on the ground, feel the stretch in your calves. In, out. In, Namaste. And the second part of the third Surya Namaskar. 1, 2, 3. Up. Hold. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. In. Namaste. Super. So that was 3 normal Surya Namaskars. Now we're going to do 5 variations. Drink a sip of water. And let's begin. We're going to start with the half moon pose. Breathe in, 1. Out, 2. Right leg back and place your knee on the floor and stretch back and down. Other side. Right leg in front, left knee on the ground and stretch. Forward bending. backward, reverse. Now we're going to do the double angle pose. One, two. Right like that. Clasp your hands behind your back. Try and place your forehead close to or near your knee or near your toe and hold. Mounted. Right leg in front. Clasp and hold. Super. Forward bending. Backward. Rear pose. Excellent. Third round, we're going to do the Z pose. Backward. Forward bending. Right like that. Mounted. Now pull your forehead towards your knees and hold. Tuck your tummy in. Moon pose. Striking cobra. Mountain. And then a froggy jump. Mandu. Super. Straighten. Fourth round, we're going to do the Hanuman Asana. Back. Forward bending. Right like that. Mounted. Moon pose. Striking cobra. Mounted. Now you place your left hand in between. Take your left elbow and place it down on the floor. Turn on the right and look up at your right fingertips and hold.
Yeah.
Now place your right elbow on the floor and turn. Other side. Right foot in front, right elbow down, stretch up. Other side, stretch up.
Yeah.
Mounted. Mounted. Backward. Good. And the last asana for today's session, we'll do Ardha Chandra Asana 1, the bird pose and the T-shape and the crane pose, and then we'll do some lying down asanas. 1, 2. Right leg back. Raise your right leg up and look at your right fingertips. T-shape pose. Crane. Other side. Right leg in front. Ardha Chandra Asana. T-shape pose. Let your lower back hold your leg up. If you stumble and fumble, don't worry. Try again like anything in life. Crane. Mountain. Moon pose. Striking cobra. And now we're going to lie down in between our legs for the Supta Vajrasana. And gently let your breath come back to normal. And gently release your legs. When your breath is comfortable, throw your legs up into Halasana. Sarvangasana. Back to Halasana. Gently release. Let your breath come back to normal. Now come into a back bend. Back down. Now very gently feel your breath come back to normal. Let your abdomen go up and back. Up and back. Up and back. Now when you feel ready, just think of happy things. We're all going to be fine forever, touch wood. Corona will go and the good parts of normal will return. And the good parts of this strange time, family bonding, uh, being more in touch with oneself, uh, not being stuck in traffic. Hopefully, all those good parts of it will remain too. So, hopefully, we'll create a better new normal. Gently raise your right leg, drop it on the left, turn on your right, universal spinal twisting. One, drop, raise your left leg, drop it on the right, turn on your left, and smile. Super. And turn on your left, gently sit up. And now sit in any comfortable asana. However much I think I'm flexible, I'm not able to do Padmasana. You can be in Vajrasana or just cross legs like this. Drink a sip of water. And now let's gently close our eyes and just do 30 Kapalbhati where you breathe out forcefully through your nostrils. If you feel dizzy or uncomfortable, please stop. In these times when breath is really top of mind, breathing, just take some time every day to focus on your breath. We can do a lot to increase our own lung capacity, even with chanting, with basic pranayama exercises. So do give a little time every day, even 5 minutes, even 3 minutes, even 1 minute. I think it helps. I'm no expert, but because my father suffered from emphysema and he was on 24-hour oxygen for many years, and he even had BiPAP machines, and we were very much involved with knowing his his O2 numbers, his SpO2, his pH levels. So all the machines that are now being talked about, whether it's concentrators, oxygen cylinders, all these things, these are things that were very much part of our household because of Daddy. But Daddy was so optimistic and he had such a strong mind that along with the doctors, amazing doctors, Dr. Udwadia and others, he lived for 9 years more than they had first expected. And he always said that yoga played a big part in helping him with his lung capacity. Now, of course, every case is different and COVID is of course very different, so I don't know and I'm no expert, but he did do a lot of exercises that helped to build the elasticity of his air sacs. That's what starts giving way when you have a condition like emphysema, but again every case is different. One of the things I was always in such admiration of was that Daddy always did everything even with his oxygen. In fact, he used to joke and say he wrote some of his best plays because of the effect of pure oxygen. And he would go for parties with his portable concentrator with the nasal prongs and the cannula. And, if people stared at him funny, he would say, "Oh, you like my new accessory?" And, I think those things to me are so important because it was so important not to be vain about it and for people to be inclusive, because we don't even realize when people have conditions like that and they have to have a nasal cannula, and now more and more people are aware of it because of COVID. It's not something to stare and say, "Oh God, what's that?" It's giving life, it's helping, and we should all be really, really, really empathetic. I was so proud of my dad would go for parties, have his whiskey, and he would have his, cannula in and carry his oxygen, and my mom would proudly be with him. And to me, that I always thought, he could have chosen to just sit at home and hide, but he didn't. He was proud of it, and this is what he needed to stay well, and he did. So it was, I'm just sharing that because for anyone who needs to go on oxygen, or people in the family who may have to have it for extended periods of time, there's no shame in it. It's helping. Of course, as I said, with COVID, of course, people are weaned off it. Daddy was also on the ventilator 3 times and he weaned off successfully, which is a pretty amazing thing because it's very difficult if you're on a ventilator for more than a certain number of days. But again, these are conversations for another day. I'm just mentioning it because he always put a lot of value on traditional things like yoga as well for helping. But of course, he did also on his allopathic treatments. So I don't want to get into the Baba Ramdev controversy that we're reading about right now. But I think you have to do what works for you and be respectful of people's choices and how they choose to get well. I've had a conversation recently with a very close friend who, you know, is wanting to take the vaccine, but perhaps is not fully sure. We have friends who are anti-vaxxers too. We have friends who, totally believe in it like we do. So everyone's different, and I guess we all have to accept and let people do what they think is right, and respect decisions. Okay, guys, so let's get to that breathing. Close your eyes and 30 Kapal Bhakti.
What we can do is we can just the
And when your breath is back to normal, let's just. Now let's breathe in, and when we exhale, we're going to say an O sound, just a long O. Breathe in. Now we're going to take a deep breath in, and when we exhale, we're going to say a humming sound. Keep our lips together, feel the vibration in your whole face, and do a sound. Breathe in. Excellent. And let's gently rub our palms together. When our palms are nice and warm, place them on your eyelids. Then down. Gently open your eyes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining Yoga with Tara. And have a wonderful day. It's always so lovely to do these sessions with you guys. Thank you. Charu says you are awesome. Touchwood, that's so kind of you. Thank you. Vivek says, love you, ma'am. Thank you. And Lokesh says, you are sexy. Thank you. So that's on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Instagram. Thank you, guys. It's really a pleasure to do yoga with all of you. Audacious Buff says, big fan, ma'am. You're a really inspiring personality. Tell me about pranayam. Well, we did some pranayam now at the end, and it's a good idea. It's a good idea to concentrate on your breathing. On that note, guys, I'm going to say have a fabulous day. And on Instagram, I find it a little sad that there are also these really dirty comments, which I don't even know why people or who has time for all this. I don't even look at it, to be honest. It's just I ignore it. But my husband and one of my best friends the other day was on a chat with Dr. Balsekar that I was doing, and I didn't even look at the comments while I was speaking. But they were really upset that there were quite a lot of like disgusting, like dirty comments. And I told them, oh, forget it. I don't even bother. Just ignore it. That's part of being on social media. 99% of all our comments are really good, but once in a while, there's people who are bored, who are just saying rubbish. But I'm telling you guys, the ones who do that, like really think within yourselves, what is it achieving? No one really cares. I don't read it. And the thing with Instagram is after the live, it all gets deleted and it's uploaded as an IGTV. And I guess that's the reason why, because there were people who were just misusing it. So find something in your lives that you enjoy, concentrate on it, give yourselves joy. If it's sex, go have sex. Don't sit here and say dirty things. It's just like desperate, you know. And I'm saying this out of the goodness of my heart that, sex is an important part of life. There's nothing ashamed in it. I'm not somebody who even cares when I see bad words and all. Big deal. We've all had sex. We all love sex. We all enjoy sex. There's nothing to be like, oh my God, somebody said gun, whatever words you guys, some of you use. But as a young mother, I would say, grow up for those who do it. If our kids ever indulged in saying dirty words like this on social media, I would just give them a tight slap. So, for anyone who does it, think of your moms. Maybe they would like to be here, and maybe they're also on these platforms, and maybe they do want to give you a tight slap. So, on that note, guys, do things you enjoy. Don't waste your time with stupid comments. I only see it on Instagram, which I'm going to actually, my husband reported a bunch of people because he thought it was just ridiculous to have comments like that. I told him, I said, forget it, who cares? But the fact that one of my closest friends also said it's really sad that people have the time to waste like that. It made me realize that maybe you guys need to be talked to. And I'm no big expert, but the ones of you, I can see a comment, I think Viral, saying Madar Chot Kya Be Chakke Nikal Ja Se. I don't even know what that is. But it's just sad because go do something productive. Uh, but anyway, I feel for you guys. If you want to just sit here and spout out words like that, that's up to you too. एनीवे ठीक है. थैंक यू परमेश्वर. हिंदी में मैं भी बात करूंगी बिल्कुल. मैं बस यही कह रही थी कि मैं बहुत खुश हूँ कि आप लोग आते हैं. अभी मेरे ख्याल से 300 योगा विद तारा क्लासेस हुए हैं लॉकडाउन में, और ये क्लासेस करके मुझे तो बहुत खुशी होती है, एंड आई होप यू डू टू. सो थैंक यू. और मैं ये भी कह रही थी कि यूट्यूब पे नहीं और फेसबुक पे नहीं, बट इंस्टाग्राम पे ज्यादा से ज्यादा सब कमेंट्स तो बहुत ही अच्छे हैं, बट कभी कभी कोई लोग ऐसे मतलब गंदे कमेंट्स डालते हैं, अपने आप में बातचीत करते हैं, गंदे गंदे शब्द यूज करते हैं. और मैं बस यही कह रही थी कि एक्चुअली ये सब मैं तो देखती ही नहीं, और मैं तो बिल्कुल इम्यून हूँ. मैं तो देख के हंसती हूँ कि इसमें क्या है. बट कई दिन पहले मेरे पति देख रहे थे और वो कह रहे थे कि ये बहुत गंदे कमेंट्स है, तो काफी लोगों को रिपोर्ट किए. मेरे एक बेस्ट फ्रेंड भी थी इस पे, वो भी कह रही थी ऐसे लोग क्यों आते हैं इधर. तो मैं बस यही कह रही थी कि जो लोग ऐसे लिखते हैं या ऐसे बातें करते हैं, गंदे गंदे लंड और ये जो भी शब्द यूज करते हैं, प्लीज आप लोग सोच लो. अगर आपके माँ, शायद माँ लोग भी इधर है प्लेटफॉर्म पे, बहुत सारे माँ लोग भी है, उनको क्या लगेंगे, वो आप शायद एक थप्पड़ देंगे. और मैं भी ये कहूंगी कि प्लीज अपना टाइम को अच्छी तरह से यूज कर दो, अच्छी बातें करो, और अगर सेक्स करना है तो जाके कर लो गर्लफ्रेंड के साथ या किसी भी के साथ, बट इधर आके प्लीज ये सब शब्द मत डालना. और मेरे जब गेस्ट आते हैं, काफी सारे डॉक्टर्स, बहुत सारे फेमस लोग, विराट कोहली, रोहित शर्मा, जसप्रीत बुमराह, ऐसे लोग जब आते हैं एंड दे सी दीज कमेंट्स, ऑल दे कैन सी इज दैट यू गाइस हु मेक दोस कमेंट्स, दे कैन सी योर हैंडल्स. So just be careful when you write all this shit, because honestly it's just poor reflection on yourselves, whoever writes. Paki Raju says, I don't get it too. Like, how can people leave comments like that guilt-free? How do they go on with their day? I don't even care, Paki Raju, because I'm genuinely, maybe I've been in this business for a very long time, so it doesn't bother me at all. And I would say I really don't get trolled much, very, very little. It doesn't bother me. And most of these comments, if at all, are really just bad words, which, I guess young kids maybe who have nothing to do think it's funny. But as a mother, I can tell you that while we shouldn't hit our kids, I would give my kids really tight slaps for using words like that, especially on public platforms. So whoever does this kind of thing, they really should go and slap themselves. And maybe I'll call them mothers here to do it. But anyway, again, each to their own. I tend to not get affected by it because I'm like, whatever floats people's boats. But it's just so sad to do that when there are plenty of positive, happy things you could be doing. I'm hosting a whole series for BBC Earth, and we have some amazing guests. And they actually switch their comments off for all their chats. And first I thought, why? I was like, I love interacting because my interactors are so good. They were like, no, because there are so many people who just spout rubbish. So why should we have them? And I don't want to make my platforms like that. I love interacting. But when I see some of these dirty, vulgar comments, I'm like, why are they here? So it's very easy for me to block people. I don't do it because I believe that everyone's special. Everyone wants to release their frustration, and if they get joy out of putting some bad words, that's how they release their frustration. But I just want you to know there are better ways. And on Saturday, we will be going live with Dr. Zirak Marker talking about mental health awareness. And I'm actually going to ask him about it. Are there some people who just release their frustration by saying bad words on social media? Maybe there are. Maybe it's a thing. So Viral, I'm very sorry. I'll be blocking you because I've seen you now say a lot of bad things over the time, and I don't want to do it. Actually, I won't block because I don't block. But just telling you guys, for the ones who use bad words and say stupid things, just think it through. Maybe send these messages to your mums and see what they have to say. Thanks, Manu. That absolutely, you're very right. Absolutely ignore bad comments, but I'm just trying to help them out, because some people may not have people to talk to. So it's important to let them know that they can always find people to speak to productively. Uh, every girl in India goes through this online or offline. It's sad, Stuti says. I don't think it's just India. I think there are frustrated people everywhere. And personally, as I said repeatedly, it doesn't bother me at all. It bothered my husband and one of my best friends, which is why I brought it up. Because they were deeply distressed when they were on a very, very important live with a very senior pediatrician, and they saw all these comments, which were not, which were nothing to relate it to the chat. I said I didn't even see them because I've become so immune to it. And people like us who are in the public space, to be honest, I don't think we even bother because we're so used to all this. But for other people who come, like some of these guests, they come and they see comments like that, they get so horrified and they see the handles. And Instagram and all these platforms are very aware of people who do this. So it's just sad. And, as a young parent, as I said, we have two boys and, we bring them up. We're quite strict as parents and definitely would not tolerate stuff like that. And because social media is an open platform, we have a lot of older people on these platforms who are maybe your mothers or your fathers. So be careful because they might be the ones who get affected. None of us will. On that note, have a fabulous day. And I'm no expert, but I do give my motherly gyan now and then. Have a fabulous day, guys. Bye. Ta-ra, ta-ra, ta-ra. Sorry, Kai, do you have a class?
No, not here, but I need to.
Unicorn taking charge. More power to you, Stiti says. Thank you, Parmeshwar. तारा जी, आपके बच्चे का क्या नाम है? कितने बच्चे हैं? 2 बच्चे हैं, एक है काय और एक है जेन. अभी क्लास में है. तो चलो मैं अभी जा रही हूँ. बाय आदित्य. बाय एवरीवन. थैंक्स फॉर जॉइनिंग. टरा टरा टरा.